Let's return to the Middle East. Let's speak to Andrew Moore, who's from the Halo Trust Regional Director for the Middle East, North Africa and Afghanistan. And Andrew, welcome here to the programme. I was just telling our audience that in terms of one of the huge tasks that has to be done now during this ceasefire is to clear the ordnance, all of the dangers that are so present over such a large part of the territory. Just describe, first of all, how massive a task that actually is for you.
Good afternoon, Matthew, and thank you for having me. And I think you and your viewers, when you look at the destruction in Gaza, will wonder how Gaza can ever be rebuilt. And then when you think that amongst that rubble there are thousands of unexploded bombs and other explosive devices, that further complicates the situation. But actually, this is not new for us, really. It's something that we as the Halo Trust have been doing through the 37 years of our existence. Your viewers will remember Princess Diana walking in a minefield in Huambo in Angola, but that city was also very heavily bombed and shelled during the Angolan Civil War, and we cleared the ordnance in the city so that it could be rebuilt. We've done it in countless countries around the world, and right now a very similar problem is being dealt with by our Syrian staff in the towns, cities and villages of Syria. So it's in Gaza, it's the density of the population and the density of the problem that is perhaps unique.
Yes, absolutely. And I wanted to ask you about that. Just tell me in terms of practical terms how you do it, because of the amount of bombs and shells that have been dropped on such a small area of land. And you talked there, and you're right about the density of the population as well.
So I think we should be seen as really a service provider to the humanitarian aid sector, to the reconstruction industry in Gaza, and to individuals rebuilding their homes. The scale of the problem means that we can't sift through all of that rubble first. We need to let builders get on with rebuilding Gaza, but we need to be there at scale with explosive ordnance disposal, bomb disposal specialists who can respond quickly when that's found, so that people can be as safe as possible as they're conducting that work, and so that the work itself is not delayed, and aid can be delivered rapidly. So the key to solving this problem is getting lots of specialists into Gaza as quickly as possible, so they can react quickly whenever explosive ordnance is found. And we estimate that we need at least 100 specialists in Gaza as quickly as possible.
It's interesting because already we were talking to an aid agency yesterday that were reporting incidents of explosions, of injuries, so it is urgent work. There is also work to be done around education, isn't it? Making sure that people actually know of the dangers, of the hazards.
Indeed, and there's several levels of this. We need to know, the civilian adult population needs to know the dangers of handling explosives. Children need to know the dangers of doing that, and a lot of the ordnance will be found in schools. And in order to get kids back to school, we'll need to get rid of a lot of those explosives in those buildings first. And then humanitarian workers and construction workers will need different sorts of education so that they understand the risks as well.
Andrew Moore, it is really important work, so I'm glad that you've been able to come onto the programme and just describe some of it that will be done in the coming days and weeks. Thank you so much for your time.